What's up?
Nothing.
I was gonna say,
We're all in
okay,
the
or
same
don't
boat
fucking
here. We're all
talk,
just-
whatever, man.
I say, you said, what's up? The answer is we're all in the same boat. We're fucking dead tired and.
Yeah, what
It's
is this,
8:30 at
podcast
night,
you're supposed
and
to
I'm
talk-
drinking coffee.
Yeah, you of all people should be saying that. When was the last time you were on this? How long ago? No.
Well, I got booked at a wrestling show last minute the last time.
I know.
That's what he says.
So, which ended up being because of me doing this and doing what I did on the show, they turned me heel at my regular show for no reason. So, I'm a bad guy now.
You did it for the Joe.
I did it for Joe Biden.
And that makes you a heel.
Apparently,
in
Tennessee it makes him a heel. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a face in my book, Chuck.
Hey, such heel heat. They made signs for it. They never bring signs, but they brought one this time. So I'm getting somewhere apparently.
So it's February, and this is only the second show we've done in the start of the year.
It's a wacky, wild year, isn't it?
How many shows has went up this year?
One. We have one show that's done. We have one that's recorded that's not up as we record this, and
correct.
We're planning to do two.
I thought we had more in the can than this.
No.
We gotta start marathoning these things, you know.
That's why we're doing two tonight.
Right. So I can finish editing the last one, Antebellum, and get it uploaded for this weekend, and then start working on this one.
We're just giving them time to truly enjoy that year-end one, you know.
Which I don't think has gotten a lot of views.
Which is odd because most time year-end stuff gets a lot of views. I never even posted my top 10 to the website, and that used to be
32.
Like, you know, that was my biggest post of the year.
No.
You know, always my top 10.
Our Christmas episode, Silent Night's at 160. But can't we just talk about episode 35 real quick? Porno, the Shudder exclusive.
Yeah.
That
So
I had to
actually write.
I had to put in parentheses indie horror film in the title because within 24 hours we got over 1,000 views on it.
Hey, I'm having the same luck with the review I posted on my channel about it. Like, just the name draws them in.
People search for porn on the internet. They find something called porno, particularly on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
come
on. You did a video too.
But it's like,
it takes a couple minutes for them to
even
realize
after I put that it was a Shudder exclusive indie horror film, we still got like another 900 views. And I get that some of those are probably people actually watching this, but
very few.
How are you going to find a straight up porno named porno? Like, just blatantly put porno on a public fucking site like YouTube.
They thought that you hidden it in plain view, you know. That's what it was. And then when you said this is not a porno, they're like, oh, he's just saying that. It's totally a porno.
Fucking deviants is what you are.
Yeah. Hey, well,
like you, Chuck, you like to lurk and watch.
I like to lurk and watch. Yes, that's what I do in my own free time. But it's probably why my computer don't work now. But anyway, I was gonna say, you know, at least now
Chuck is on his phone camera again tonight.
I'm on my mobile, as the Brits call it, my mobile, which I'm using my headset, which apparently improves my videos tenfold because people can hear me now.
So your headset improves your videos because people can hear you, and your phone camera improves your videos because you look better.
There it is. So you get the full Connery until I have to go plug the phone up halfway during the podcast and be at an awkward
position. Isn't that illegal? The rest of it. The full Connery?
It may be. It probably would be.
So, Chuck?
Yes.
Keep it in your pants. And
I'll try.
We're going to talk about, Chuck and myself, our favorite film of 2020.
It would be on my list if I made my list.
I was just going to say, I think it would be somewhere on James's list if he would have been able to squeeze it in.
I even know people that's like not as hardcore about horror movies as we are, and they loved it. So it has a broad appeal, I believe, the way it's done.
So and that film is The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I never would have watched this if Chuck didn't say, "Hey, you guys should check this out," because
I had never fucking heard of it.
I saw the trailer months ago, like 6 months ago, and I was like, it's a werewolf movie. I love werewolf movies, but nobody ever does werewolf films fucking justice. Never.
And it's a studio movie. It's from Warner Brothers too.
Which is still kind of weird because it was written, directed, and stars Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
So he did everything.
And the cover sucks, by the way. I just want to say that. Like, it was not appealing. When I got it in the mail.
What's the cover on the Blu-ray? I don't remember.
It's just like the cop, and it's like maybe there's a shadow, a silhouette of a wolf maybe in the background.
Okay, because
I
like the poster. Yeah. Is this the one you're talking about?
Now, no, that one is not on the cover. Now, that would have been more appealing if that had
I
been
like
the cover
this.
of the Blu-ray. Yeah, it's more generic, more red boxed for the main cover. And when I got that in the mail, it was studio release. It had that on it. I wasn't expecting much out of it, but then finally it got to the point where it's like, well, I better watch it. And then it didn't take long to watch it to figure out that we're dealing with something completely different than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that don't appeal to me much.
No, it doesn't. It's not appealing at all.
They even did what I've seen that font before.
Oh, sure. They use it for everything that's mildly gothic and or,
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that the What We Do in the Shadows font?
It's the TV version.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one is different.
Yeah. Well, like I said, though, I finally watched it, and I didn't know what we was in for, but it was definitely a pleasant surprise when I actually seen what it was.
For sure. So essentially what we're looking at here is the writer-director Jim Cummings plays John Marshall. He is deputy sheriff, I do believe. His dad is the sheriff and is played by Robert Forster, and it is his last film that before he passed, they did dedicate the end sequence to him. So they are in a little town called Snow Hollow. It is it's like a vacation spot in the winter. It is a ski snowboarding resort type of place. Lots of like mom and pop shops, and there's a killer on the loose. They are targeting young women and brutally some of them are getting torn apart. And they believe that they're finding wolf tracks, but they're like, a wolf can't do this. That's the gist of it. But there's so many layers to this film because of everything that our main character is going through with his daughter getting ready to go off to college and him constantly fighting with his ex-wife, him being a recovering alcoholic, his dad being sickly and refusing to retire or step down anything. And the stress of the job's getting to him.
Yeah. It's a very complex and flawed character.
Yes.
But
I'll admit
he's relatable in some ways.
Absolutely.
He's relatable, though I will admit the degree to which he's flawed kind of bugged me by the end. It's one of the reasons why it wouldn't have been on the top is just, I admit, that's a reason it wouldn't have been on the top, but the way the movie kind of resolves that, we'll put it that way, made me more okay with it. Like how the movie ends in terms of his character made me a lot more okay with it, basically.
Yeah.
So as more and more girls end up dead, they put out a curfew, and his daughter gets involved because she sneaks out with her boyfriend, and this werewolf, Chuck left.
I'm here. I'm
okay.
Good.
Chuck's a Skype. There he is.
Yeah. And he's back. Just like old times.
I don't know how to cut off notifications. I was trying to cut off notifications because it was popping up on me.
Did you?
Fair enough. So yeah, he's going through everything. It is a very comedic film.
But it's odd comedy though.
Yeah, it's kind of like dark comedy. It's dark
Yeah.
comedy and dry.
Well, sure.
Kind of Coen Brothers ish, and I don't know. Was it you, Beard, that don't like the Coen Brothers? Somebody I know don't like the Coen Brothers.
They
I have an
haven't
opinion.
done a whole lot that I like. I mean, I think
Hmm.
Big Lebowski is phenomenal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
other than
They're hit,
that,
hit and miss.
I
like
don't
No
have an
Country
opinion.
for Old Men, I think was terrible.
Well, that's because it's just completely laid out in a bad way, but that's another story. But
But
That's
but
true.
everybody
uh,
fucking sucked that thing's
yeah,
cock.
but the thing is, it's like this here is such an odd humor, but there's things that are just so random that you can't help but like. Like there's one scene where he pretty well beats up a cop, one of his fellow cops. And then the one where like when he falls off the wagon later on in the movie, when he
Yeah,
falls and he
yeah.
just presses the stove door. You know?
That was the timing on that is brilliant comedic timing.
And I don't know if that was planned or if it's just a happy accident while filming, you know. But the thing just it's just so awkward, you know. And plus his relationship with his daughter is interesting. If I do think there's one flaw in this whole movie, is they're in one portion where they're getting kind of emotional with each other. I feel like they wasn't bringing it that good in that scene in particular, but everything else is good. It just seemed a little forced. There, when
Well, I
she's
mean,
like,
it
it's when the scene
You can
where
make an
she's carrying,
argument that's kind of the point, in a way.
yeah,
yeah,
well, the scene
because
where she's
they've
carrying him to bed. Yeah.
up until her going to college, she's, I mean, completely pretty much lived with her mom.
Mhm.
So I don't think
Uh,
they've got that amazing father daughter relationship as it is.
some moments of the movie are like so awkward, but you don't know if they're intentional or it's just how it ended up. Like one scene with her, I don't want to spoil what it is, but you remember she mentions to him that she's bleeding from the head, take her to the hospital. That is a very odd statement. Have you ever like looked at somebody and said, "Hey, I'm bleeding from the head, take me to the hospital"? you
I've
know,
never actually been bleeding from the head,
From
so
the head, yeah.
uh,
That's
I've been bleeding from the head before, but it was wrestling magic, so
as I say,
therefore
it's
it
like
was.
we're not wrestling and we're not
Yeah,
taking staples to the head and stuff. So
yeah.
or
But I
forks.
mean, I don't know, like stuff like the fork was something, but like stuff like that though, it stands out, but it don't stand out in a bad way because it's like it creates its own little vibe and weird little world for this movie. You know how there's like you get Tarantino movies where it's cool what people are saying, but nobody would ever probably ever talk that way in real life. There's just awkward moments in this that it just creates its own little thing. But I dug it though, and like I said, it's one of the better werewolf takes I've seen in recent times because the last time a werewolf movie came out that I enjoyed, I think maybe it was Late Phases. There's
Late
been
Phases was good.
there was there was Todd Sheets' take on a werewolf movie that sucked and
Bonehill
stuff
Road.
like that. Yeah,
It
but
wasn't. It wasn't absolutely.
well, he
It
tried to
wasn't
get a little too
good.
fancy. He tried to get
It
a little too
wasn't
fancy with
good, but it was all right.
it. Yeah,
I
but
don't. I
then
don't want anybody coming attacking our podcast, Chuck.
oh yeah, I forgot he's got a mob with him. But
But I actually
yeah, we'll
backed
get the
Bonehill
views up.
Road on Kickstarter.
yeah, but like
I've
every now and then, it's like every 5-6 years we get a good werewolf movie. It was, Late Phases and then this. And
yeah.
if there's one before this, I can't remember. And
It's
I can't remember what the last good werewolf one before Late Phases was. You guys will probably have to refresh me on that if you remember.
I mean, I can think of, but it'd be too early. I'd be saying Dog Soldiers, and
Yeah.
that's too early. I mean, it's way back before then. It's got to be something
Mhm.
between then and there. And Ginger Snap, same thing. Got to be something between those. But that's the thing is, it's a very much an underused horror trope. Like the zombie kind of consumed everything in terms of the monster that everybody gets afraid of. And then you had vampires come back into vogue purely because of Twilight.
Well, you get too many zombies, you get too many vampires. Werewolves is few and far in between, and they're not always good. Like I didn't even like the Universal remake of the Wolfman. You remember with Del
It's,
Toro or whatever? Yeah, but
It was
this
bad.
thing it caught me by surprise. But like, of course, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, and I don't want to spoil anything because people really need to watch this. But like, where this all leads and the ultimate big thing at the end of it, I didn't see that coming.
mm-hmm.
You know, and it caught me by surprise, which I think that's one thing that I appreciate about it the most is it actually went somewhere that I didn't see it going,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
and it gets pretty gory too at times, which is also good.
Yeah,
The
very much
effects
so.
are
Yeah.
great, and when you see that werewolf stand up on its fucking hind legs,
Hmm.
that shot is fan fucking tastic. I
I think
remember watching it and I was like, "Oh shit, look at that thing!" And Morgan was like, in the bedroom. She's like, "What the?" Because I woke her up. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I just saw an awesome werewolf. I'm so excited because werewolves aren't awesome."
But I think like this thing even starts off like different than most because we have we have likable characters, even side little minor characters are likable because they're in like this area and at the front, the very first of the movie, you got a couple and the dude's kind of just annoyed because you got to really pay attention to this or you won't notice what's going on. But obviously he's got a gay brother and they're using homophobic slurs at the start of the movie and it
Yeah.
bothers him,
Yeah.
which of course, and he says something. So that sets forth, some stuff, and then you automatically get like a whole list of people who could be this werewolf.
You get a lot of red
You know,
herrings
One
in
of the
this
good
movie.
things about it is the mystery of it. Yeah, that it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough to make a movie about a werewolf mystery. Being
Yeah,
a
and by them even putting them little elements into the characters, though, it's like you automatically have something more than just play by number characters like most movies give you. Everybody seems to have like a little extra layer to them, a little more reality to them in certain aspects. You don't just have like the stoner and all that. Everybody seems to have like, they're flawed for the most part, but everybody's got their own thing going. Although some of the cop interaction I think is hilarious. And
oh yeah,
like, and when he goes to his AA
Robert
meetings,
Forrester is great in this, for the record, in that regard. Like
he is. Did
for
he
an
die
old
before
cop,
this? Did he die
I-
before this was finished, or did he actually get to do what he's supposed to do in this before he died?
I don't know.
no idea.
There's not
Because
too
the way
many
it's played,
like extra features on this.
no, there's not. Which hopefully one day this thing gets like a special edition because I feel like it'll gain steam if people watch it. But I don't know
I
how many
need a
But
I
people
need
will
a
see
I need a 3-disc 4K UHD
too
with
many things.
2 or 3
I don't understand.
commentaries.
Mhm.
it. Hmm.
I don't understand that. Just to go off on a small tangent. Um, this great example. Scream Factory's getting ready to do a Blu-ray of Raw, which
Yeah.
was, if I'm not mistaken, an IFC midnight release originally. And
Yeah.
originally it came out. Now they're doing this one that has all these special features. I just bought Autopsy of Jane Doe for dirt cheap from somewhere. The original release, they haven't released any other version of it. It's a fantastic fucking movie. One of my favorites of the last 10 years. It's fucking great. There is not a goddamn thing on that release. It is bare bones as bare bones comes. And we're in a time frame where I'm listening to Severin podcast, and they talk about how when they made the Theater Bazaar, they filmed fucking everything. I like Theater Bazaar, but Theater Bazaar is not a perfect movie. Okay, it has got a lot of problems, but they have so much shit that when Severin got the rights to it back, they put out a feature-length documentary with it, plus a whole bunch of other shit. Why are they not just, in some of these cases, just filming shit? Like, I don't mean like who released Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Warner Brothers.
Okay, I'm not talking Warner Brothers. I'm saying Jim Cummings and his people around him. Why don't they just have somebody there just filming them making it, then throw some like extra
Maybe,
back
maybe
behind
they
the scenes,
did though. It's possible that
and
they did.
Because
if
there
that's
are
the
on
case,
the
then
behind the
that's on
scenes
Warner
there
Brothers.
are a lot of like working with Jim Cummings is like a special feature, and it's got like Robert Forster and all these people talking about what it's like working with somebody who wrote a script who is directing and acting in the same scene. And a
Right.
lot of that stuff is recorded, so they may have recorded a lot of this, and it just might not have seen the light of day.
What do you
Yeah.
think it should have? Like you mentioned, there's no deleted scenes. What else would you expect that isn't on there already?
Oh, just just a feature on it. They could do a making of documentary on it. They could do,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I mean, that's basically the main thing. 4K release would have been nice too. They didn't do a 4K of this. Uh, it feels like when it comes to the big studios, unless it is like a title that's been out before that's got some steam behind it, they're just they just want to put it out as bare minimum because they're just mostly worried about the digital sales at this point anyway, I
Oh yeah.
imagine.
Oh yeah.
But
It's sad. It's very sad.
it's like you don't get a lot of like. Does this have a commentary on it?
I don't think so. I was trying to find.
Because that's like a lost art. Remember when like all DVDs, even crappy movies, had commentaries,
Hmm.
and now they don't even have a commentary anymore.
Honestly, the one that gets me is commentary is one thing. I'm sick of things that don't have theatrical trailers on them.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's a fucking gimme. You've got the rights to the trailer. Just throw it on.
yeah. It's just like it's a lost art thing. It's at least the boutique labels are stuffing their stuff full of commentaries and features and people just talking about movies. The big studios, they don't want to give you much. And it's like every time a Tarantino movie comes out, have you ever noticed the extras tend to suck on most Tarantino movies? Like, we don't get a whole lot of click. Like, I remember I had the DVD of Pulp Fiction, which had the menu from the restaurant and all that on it.
Hmm.
But it's like in recent times, like in Glorious Bastards and maybe Hateful Eight and all that stuff. I know that had good extras on it, and then
Well,
I don't think they did.
well, in Glorious Bastards, at least I can say that, and this is a thing they do in a lot of stuff. My
Mhm.
Blu-ray was the Target exclusive, and that one had an entire third disc with
Oh, I see. I
like
did.
2 like extra bonus features and stuff. And I've seen that start happening around the Harry Potter time,
See,
around
all
like
my
yeah.
yeah, all my Hateful Eight did was it had the slipcase that folded over and like was a pop out. I think like a pop out deal or a fold out. It may not have been pop out. It might have just been a fold out picture, but it folded out. The slipcase did. And but now where's the 4Ks of all those? I mean, you think Tarantino would be one of the first people they did 4Ks for? You
You'd
know,
think
because
that, but he would have to want to do it and put forth effort.
well, you at this point in time, like DVDs to us is like the VHS was when Blu-ray came out, right? So now we're all the way up to this kind of a format. We're up to 4K, and they're still doing more DVDs than they are 4Ks and stuff.
Because they sell more still.
Yeah, I mean, like, why is that? I mean, because like if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be putting this stuff on 4K. Like, why is this not on 4K out the gate?
It's
I
still a
mean,
niche market, man.
and just look at the setting. Like this thing takes place in a snowy area. I imagine it would look great on 4K.
It looked
You
good up
know.
converted.
Yeah, it did. It's just odd. Like I said, that's neither here nor there. But the point is the movie is definitely worth
Yeah.
watching
Yes.
if you haven't seen it. And like I said, it's different. And the guy, like I don't know how you direct a movie and star in the whole thing because I don't even like bit parts in my stuff, which is obviously on a much lower level. But this man had to direct a movie that he in front of the screen on for 90% of the time. So
And it literally there's 3 special features on here. There's working with Jim Cummings. It's a minute and 42 seconds long. The story the story and the genre, which is 4 minutes and 7 seconds long. And then the design of the werewolf, which is 5 minutes and 34 seconds long. That's all the special features. But legitimately, in that 1 minute 42 second working with him, and it's showing him like saying cut and then jumping into the scene and going into it and then cutting and then going back and watching it and then going back and doing another fucking take of it. I mean, he needs. I think he needs to write and direct more shit.
I mean, I was looking at his IMDb. I don't know much of his directorial stuff, but I did see that he's at least the director and a star in a role in a movie called Thunder Road. I don't
yeah,
know
no.
anything about it, but
He was
apparently
in
it's
the
not his
movie.
first road, basically.
He was in a movie called Greener Grass
Yes, that
that
too. That's on there.
Shout Factory put out, and it's super weird, super weird. Uh, but I don't think he had nothing to do with actually writing or directing that one. I don't think.
So yeah, I'm checking his writing now because I just remembered I didn't look at that first. He also wrote Thunder Road. So he wrote, directed, and at least was in on some level Thunder Road.
Well, I'd like to see that.
That was from 2018. A police officer faces a personal meltdown following a divorce and the death of his mother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
It's
he's playing
apparently it's apparently on Prime Video.
Mm.
It's got a 7.1, so it was apparently really good.
On IMDb is 7.1.
Yeah, 7.1, which for comparison's sake, Wolf of Snow Hollow had a 6.3.
Oh.
On Amazon, it's got a 4.4 out of 5, and on Blu-ray.com, it's a 3 out of 5.
Well, they're a little more snobbier at Blu-ray.com.
Yeah,
It's true.
Something up in there. You're not wrong.
But
yeah, it's been a long time since I saw it. I mean, I know it's been a long time since all of us saw it, but I liked it when I saw it. He's decent in the movie, but I will say the character kind of stretched my ability to like him. I liked, like I said, how it ended in terms of that. It made a lot more sense to my head. His Robert Forster's good. Female secondary lead cop, really good. Daughter's good.
I think all the side characters in this are good.
Very good.
that main girl that's like the main cop next to him, what else is she in? I've seen her in something. Was she
I feel
in?
like I have to.
She wasn't in Wolf Cop, was she?
That'd be
She was
hilarious if it
in
was.
she was in the Last House on the Left remake.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing.
It is.
Let's see. That's the
She
first.
was.
She's also in Knives Out.
I've not watched that. I've got it, but I've not watched it.
Really good. You should watch it. It's. I will say. I think people. It's kind of like you. Not nearly to the same extent as what you're talking about with No Country for Old Men. But I do think it's a bit overrated, but it's still really good.
She was in Hell Baby.
Yeah.
I have
She is
that.
the voice
remember.
of Poison Ivy in the Lego Batman movie.
I've probably seen her in Hell Baby. I've seen it, but I've got it, and I've seen it like a long time ago. I don't remember much about it.
A lot of voice acting work.
She looked familiar though, but of course I didn't realize she was in the Last House on the Left remake. That's probably where I recognize.
She was in that weird forgotten Halloween movie from 2012 called Fun Size.
I've not seen that.
I barely remember that movie exists. But yeah, that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, she was in the Pulse remake.
I don't know if I've watched the Pulse remake, or if I did, it's so forgettable I don't remember it.
It's 14 years ago, man. I mean,
What was that one like? Now here's something to go back on years ago. Do you guys remember when Rob Zombie's first Halloween first come out on DVD? Like, okay, Walmart double packed it. You got a bonus movie when you bought it, and I don't remember
Because
if
they
it
knew they
was
had to give you something else.
I don't.
it was it was another remake, and I don't remember if it was a remake of Pulse or
given the time frame, you'd probably be Last House on the Left.
no. It was like something weird. It was like that it was a cell phone movie.
One Missed Call.
One Missed
I
Call.
bet it was one. I bet it was.
No, that's how bad One Missed Call is. They needed to give you the Halloween remake to sell One Missed Call's remake.
I remember that. I missed that back in the old days. You know, when DVD was still like super popular, and Walmart had exclusives where you get a free movie with the new movie sometimes.
I was still working at Hot Topic when that came out, and Hot Topic did a thing because they had a good relationship with Mr. Zombie. So they bought a shitload of DVDs and Blu-rays to sell in the stores. So the Blu-rays that we were selling, every store got at least one, and I think most of them were probably bought by employees. But they were the wrapped Blu-ray, and then they shrink wrapped them again with another card of the artwork, and he had signed them all. So I still have that sealed somewhere because I never ever wanted to watch it again. And I was hoping that one day it would be worth some sort of money.
It might be purely for his autograph.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've never watched part 2 of that since I've seen it. Like I got it.
I've never watched it. Period.
I got it on DVD for my birthday one year. Again, I was excited about it, and I watched it. And I've never watched it again, and that's including in the Blu-ray set. I've never watched it out of that Shout Factory or Blu-ray set either. But I kind of get nostalgic for those days though, when like DVDs were like still a big thing, and Walmart had like cool versions, because I remember it was like a big thing to go get this stuff when it come out, because the internet was a thing, but the internet wasn't like it was now. So you didn't have as much leaked stuff, and you didn't have people crapping on stuff as bad back then.
Scalping.
And yeah, and I remember like going to Walmart and getting the day one, the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It had that fold out release with the little metal plate in it, or whatever it was, tin plate or whatever it was. And of course, like I said, Halloween was a big deal. And then of course, obviously I watched it, but House of the Devil, I remember when it came out, which, by the way, this is off topic here, but I gotta say this real quick because I don't think I had time to talk about it last time I was on
it a while ago. Go ahead.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, House of the Devil was out of print, right? On Blu-ray?
Good question. I am actually not sure.
I think it was going for like $30 online. House of the Devil. Well, if you have a FYE still in your area, they have like a bargain bin that's got like older movies in it on Blu-ray. They have a ton of House of the Devil Blu-rays for $5 each.
If it's out of print, it sure don't look like it, because it's $16 on Amazon right now from Amazon.
People must realize it's at FYE because there for a while it was going for like $30 online.
Well, I mean like not from Amazon, as in like a used
sold by
copy.
DVD,
straight from Amazon.
Well, it's sold by DVD Wholesale Harbor, fulfilled by Amazon.
Okay, I must have misread it. But yeah, it's still it's $15. I mean,
Yeah, I remember for a little while there, it was pretty hard to find. But of course, I guess all the old copies that didn't sell are now turning up. But that was one that I got when I got Halloween 2, and I remember enjoying it way better than Halloween 2.
I haven't seen Halloween 2. I only watched it for this show when Eli and I did the Halloween retrospective. That was the
Mhm.
first and last time I ever saw it.
I had no desire to see it, and I think I didn't. I started to watch. I may have started to watch it for that episode, and never finished it because I ran out of time before the episode started. And so I think you guys just reviewed it, and I was just like, "Yep, nope, I got enough out of what I saw of it, so I got no opinion on it."
Oh, it's okay till the dream sequence is over at the start.
Of course,
Uh,
just like the original was okay until the end of the beginning of the movie.
was that one like 4-hour episode, or did we break it up into two?
We did
There
a
was two.
whole fucking
I thought there
episode.
was.
Well,
I,
there were two. The first was
yeah,
like 1 through 5, I want to say, maybe 6, and the second was the rest.
I felt like I missed half of it. Like I was in half, but then I wasn't
Yeah, I
in
was in
half.
half, but not the other half. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you and I were both in the latter half of it.
maybe.
I don't know.
But that's back when we were up to do marathon podcast of a whole franchise. It's like what 8, 9 films deep.
We'd sit there for 4.5 fucking hours.
Did we do a Saw retrospective?
I am
Yes.
sure we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Which I remember, like you have to watch them because they all blend together when you try to remember them.
Yeah,
That was the last time I watched any of the Saws.
Stories
Up
all
to,
blend.
like-
And, yeah.
I remember like the first 3, and then I think I remember the very last one, and everything else just all melts together when I try to think about them.
I know Eli and I did Halloween, Saw, Friday the 13th,
Nightmare on Elm Street at some point.
Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I really don't think you did Hellraiser, but I could be wrong on that.
We definitely did
thought we
Hellraiser.
I thought maybe I was. I don't know if I was in on that or not because I remember
You
there
might
was
have been.
Hell World and all that stuff. But
I know we
remember
did.
Because that was the first time I'd ever seen the one with Lance Hendrickson in it,
Oh, yeah.
where he hosts the fucking LAN party.
Yep.
Oh, Hell World.
Hell World.
Mm.
And we as a group, besides the one we mentioned, we also did Puppet Master.
We did the first 3 Puppet Masters.
First 3 with a brief discussion of Bloodstorm, and
we did the
Vampire
subspecies.
Health.
Yeah.
Subspecies, yeah. And subspecies,
That's, so you're saying it's about time for another retrospective?
We're currently doing an ongoing retrospective that will pick back up probably late spring.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, so my family video, all family videos going out of business, as I think we discussed at some point. But I went there, and pretty much all the good stuff was already picked through even before they got to the super cheap prices. And the only thing I was going to get, somebody had already got it, and that was the Amityville Horror with Bella Thorne, which is actually an official sequel to the old one.
Yep.
Why somebody would buy that, I don't know, because I'm sure they're not doing a retrospect on the internet. But
I recorded that. It's on my cloud storage on Hulu. So I was going through and clearing some stuff off, like a bunch of old AEW episodes and stuff that I had recorded. And Morgan goes, "Well, get rid of that Amityville." I'm like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." And she's like, "Yeah, we watched that." And I said, "You watched that without me?" And she goes, "No, I watched it with you." And I said, "No, then we never watched it because I've never fucking seen this." So this came out like 3 years ago.
it was
And
the
she's
one
like,
so bad that they kept delaying it.
she had it confused with the Amityville Dawn. And I was like, no.
But this one here got delayed like 3-4 times, and then finally they just put it out on Blu-ray when it came out. But like I said, somebody around here, there's somebody around here, that apparently my enemy, because they went and bought all the good independent horror stuff from Family Video before I could get to it.
People. Anyway.
Fucking bastards.
That's what they are.
Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Comic bastards.
Speaking of good independent horror movies, Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Which I mean, what else can we say about the Wolf of Snow
I mean,
Hollow?
2 of the 3 of us have already put it at the top of our list of 2020. One of us has already just now said that it may not be in his top 5, but it would have knocked Mortuary Collection off the bottom of his list somewhere. So
There
it would
goes
have been up
Mortuary.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5,
3.5.
4 out of 5.
which that tells you there's no perfect movies of 2020.
Correct.
But I will say a
No.
4 is the highest I've given any movie in 2020. And I want to
Mhm.
say there were only like 5 4s.
Yeah, same with me. People who keep
And
I'm
they
gonna
were
just
all
say
on my
it.
list.
Yeah.
The movie we're reviewing in the next episode, right now on Shudder, has a 4.5
Jesus
on
Christ.
Shudder. Okay, I'm not gonna say what my rating on that is right now, and I don't know what you guys are. But what I'm saying is, everything on Shudder is like that, where everybody is all 5, 5, 5, 5, 4. Nothing almost ever deserves a 5. Almost ever.
The last movie I gave a 5 was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. So you might also, most of the time a 5 isn't a 5 at first. It becomes a 5 over time. You know what I mean? I've noticed that. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to see something for the first time and be like, that's a 5 right there.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, like the only real horror movies I've ever given a 5 out of 5 was probably like Evil Dead,
Yeah.
the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Dawn of the Dead was a 5. And I'm sure there's other stuff, but that's the only ones that pop out right now. I don't
I
think
would
I've
give
ever.
Reanimator a 5. That's
Yeah.
that's in my mind. But there's not
Probably the
a
worst.
lot of them.
The most unpopular 5 I've ever give anything is I think I give Father's Day a 5 when it came out. Like it
Father's
was a
Day's
couple.
really fun.
Yeah, it was like a year or two after it came out that I watched it again and give it a 5. But that's probably like the most controversial 5 I've ever given anything.
But anyway,
I missed that. I missed that Astron 6.
Psycho Goreman's coming. We are promising here and now. Whenever it hits Shudder, we will be reviewing it. Psycho Goreman.
Sure.
You can buy it on Vudu for $14 right now.
Or I could wait.
You could wait. You could wait. It's getting a special edition from Australia's Umbrella.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right out the gate, so that should tell us something.
It's also
So
getting a special edition.
let me ask you guys a question about your Shudder. Do you get emails that say, because you watch this, why don't you watch this?
Sometimes.
So I get things that say, because you watched this that I've never fucking heard of or seen, you should watch this, which I've already seen.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm like, I've never fucking watched that. And
Do
I
you
asked
share
Morgan.
your account with anybody?
No. I asked my wife, and I was like, have you seen this? Did you watch this?
Some of those they send out and just be like, hey, this just got added, and oh, by the way, here's some other shit.
No, it specifically says, because you watched this, shows picture, you should check out 3 things down here.
Hacks.
Somebody's in your account watching movies.
But it's not like that, like continue watching or anything like that. None of those movies are in there because they've never played.
Oh well, it's an error in the system. You're getting somebody else's emails in.
Hacks. Let me see. I know I've gotten those before. The last one I got was on January 22nd, and you can tell me how good this works. The email is titled, Because You Watched Porno. So that's accurate. The choices are scare package, excuse me. How's that for a recommendation related off of porno? Scare package.
Yeah.
Package.
Yummy and the... I'm sorry?
I said, well, package.
I know, right? Yummy, which I tried. I lasted 10 minutes, and then I said, fuck this noise. And the editor. That's the last time I got one of those.
Like, I delete them all, so I can't go back and find it.
Mortuary Collection, they told me... Okay, here's one that doesn't make any fucking... Wait, is it? Can't be. It says, because you watched the Mortuary Collection, this was December, 32 Malasana Street.
What in the world is that?
It says they were recommending a mix of anthologies and supernatural gems. So they recommended 32 Malasana Street, Creepshow, Channel Zero, and The Night Shifter.
Channel Zero's good.
I need to watch that.
I've seen the first 3.
I don't know if I've seen those.
Chuck, are you okay? You look kind of frozen to me.
Am I frozen? I'll be back.
You're frozen.
Well, I know why. It's not a big deal. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm back.
There, and we're back.
Back.
3,
I had
2.
no. I mean, so this is new to me using the phone. So if ever I try to respond back to somebody, I'm noticing that it totally just shuts me down.
You're still frozen for the record. It's a really unflattering freeze. Just throwing
Why
that
am
out there.
Hang on, we got it. I should be back.
Hang on, and
Just trying to connect. There I am. There
maybe.
I am.
Yeah, it was very
Oh,
blurry and kind of
Here I
eyes were
am.
closed and.
it was a good image, Chuck. Don't let him lie to you.
Oh, yeah, it'll be all over the place. But no, that's the pros and cons of using your phone for these things, right?
Oh, news. We'll start with the one that's actually legitimately the most relevant to this podcast, but also which will, by the time this episode comes up, not matter anymore. Which is, go ahead, Chuck.
SRS Cinema is releasing Morbid and Door One, or not Door One, Morbid and Screwdriver together on a combo pack Blu-ray release, and it's only going to be pre-ordered for a week, and after that, they won't be no more of them apparently.
Which means by the time you see this episode, they won't
You'll
be
too
there.
late. If you're seeing this, it's already too late. I don't know how they're doing that. Like, I've never heard of that. Is that new? Like,
it's a
pre-order?
thing. Some shirt companies are doing it too. Like, here's this one shirt we're making. We're never making it again. Pre-order it now by Sunday, and it's it kind of started in that actually area. Really,
Now, call
I'd
me
say.
crazy, and I'm not crapping on them because I don't understand how this stuff works. So maybe they know something I don't know. But I always thought you had to always order X amount of everything when you have it produced. When you have it replicated or whatever. So
Maybe they haven't had it
It's a
replicated yet.
pre-order.
They're only ordering an
It's
X.
a pre-order. Yeah, it's a pre-order.
Okay, so I'm guessing this will tell the tale, and if there's any more releases of my stuff after this, if anybody buys them,
Probably
which
would. Hey, they're making a shirt too. That's a good sign.
there's a shirt. Which of course the key is just getting word out there because there's a lot of people that's for better or worse no Morbid and have talked about it. So I'm sure they'd rather have it on Blu-ray than the old DVD. And this one's in the proper ratio, by the way. If you had the
Is this a
other
DVD
Blu-ray.
or a Blu-ray?
It's a Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
And it's the only way you can get Screwdriver on Blu-ray. So
Well, I've got the Screwdriver Master Copy DVD.
Master copy because I sent the wrong one.
Because you sent the wrong one. I was like, damn, man, mine's not signed. It's not fucking, there's no picture on it. There's no number, no nothing. And Chuck's like, oh,
shit.
That's my copy.
Yeah, they all look the same. So, yeah, I mean, it's only $20, which SRS stuff is usually 30 out the gate. So why it's 20 out the gate, I'm not sure. Maybe times are hard, I guess. I don't know. But it was forever until Door One dropped from being $30. Because it was $30 for a long time.
W, I'm sending you something, by the way. Scroll past the Tarman ones. That's why I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, I think it's too expensive for you to want one, but they exist is all.
Did
why
we
send
talk
it to
about
me?
how?
Because you might.
I want to know
that's expensive, isn't it? Yeah.
What is the Beard's opinion of Wrong Turn out of West Virginia with no hillbillies in the woods killing?
Didn't we cover this recently where we discussed the fact that we don't think it should be called Wrong Turn at all, and it was basically just not,
I don't know if I was here for that.
For the record, I sent him ceramic mugs shaped like the Hell Dogs from Ghostbusters.
In my state's defense, more people that would be like that would live in Virginia.
But they're not people like that, though. This isn't inbred hillbillies, apparently.
But what I'm saying is that West Virginia is like, oh, fucking backwoods, wrong turn shit. That's Virginia. That's not West Virginia.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never been to either one, so I couldn't tell you.
Would you say it's West Virginia and not West Virginia? If that makes sense. Western Virginia and not
Western Virginia. Not Western Virginia.
No, I'm saying the people in Western Virginia, not West Virginia.
Oh, well, no, I don't know. But all I know is we left those losers, okay?
It's coming out very soon on Blu-ray though. If anybody is curious about how it's going to turn out.
And
uh,
my understanding, Dance Commander said that it actually takes place along the Appalachian Trail, which goes through like
other
Virginia,
states.
Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all the way up to Maine, I do believe.
So what we got? Just a slasher in the woods. Is that what we got? Because the trailer don't give a lot away.
I
I
didn't
don't
even
think.
watch the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I started to say it's going straight to DVD, so that should tell you something. But these days, what isn't going straight to video, right? So
Nowadays. Um,
yeah.
I will say it depends on where you go in Maryland if you run into those. You really got to get not they're around probably.
Tennessee would have been a good candidate to take over the mantle for Wrong Turn.
Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Alabama. No.
Oof, there's a new kind of street people in Alabama.
Uh, and other news. So there's a new label. It's called Error
Arrow video.
44. I'm getting to that later. Error 4444. They're focused on Asian horror and exploitation. So they announced that their first release is going to be the 1995 movie Anatomia Extinction, which is by Yoshihiro Nishimura, who's the guy who did Tokyo Gore Police, Hell Driver, and Vampire Girl vs. Frankenstein Girl. It's
Classic.
from what I read, it's supposed to be literally where Tokyo Gore Police kind of got its start. So it's very, sci-fi-ish, horror-ish,
I've
kind
got all of
of.
those.
I need that movie. It's going to be amazing. But
I've only got a Hell Driver on Blu-ray though.
I have only Hell Driver and Vampire Girl because I'm waiting for Media Blasters to pull their finger up out of their ass and release Tokyo Gore Police on Blu-ray like I know they want to in a good version.
So if this is the path these guys are going to go down with their releases, and I look forward to it. Although I really wish they would pull some old stuff out and give us like maybe the Evil Dead Trap 1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
I mean, they might, but they seem to be kind of going obscure. I will say that be careful
I mean,
because
those are
it seems
pretty
like
fucking obscure films.
I know. I'm saying like those were already out from Synapse. Is all I mean by obscure in that regard.
One is Synapse. The part 2 is Unearthed Films.
Yes, yeah.
Correct.
But
So
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I guess those movies are kind of considered pretty big over there, maybe in Japan.
they're doing them through a big cartel too, so there's a chance that might be hard to get hold of if they're not doing huge editions or anything like that.
Do we know yet if they're going to be pressed or BDRs?
Fuck if I know. They just announced the title.
Yeah.
Speaking of, also, I mean, I would personally like just 'cause I keep hearing it's such a fantastic movie. I want to see Mr. Vampire. That's supposed to be a really, really classic, like Japanese vampire comedy. But anyway, Severin finally, after 2 months of delays, announced their Andy Milligan box set called The Dungeon of Andy Milligan. Contains such titles as The Ghastly Ones, which is one of the original video nasties, The Body Beneath, Nightbirds, Torture Dungeon in a new director's cut, Bloodthirsty Butchers in a new director's cut, The Curse of the Full Moon in a new director's cut, The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here, Man with Two Heads, Guru the Mad Monk, Legacy of Blood in 2 different cuts, Flesh Pot on 42nd Street, Seeds, Vapors, Tug a Party, and most of his stuff is included there. Some of Garage House Pictures' stuff is not, but that stuff is now pretty much out of print because they were doing a sale. A lot of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff is on there too, but yeah.
Is any of it good?
I would not know.
Because ain't this the guy like who's kind of notorious for being one of the worst film makers of all time? Or am I thinking of somebody?
I forget what it was, but they posted a quote. Yeah, this is the actual press stuff from Severin. He's been described as the Fassbinder of 42nd Street, a celebration of hate, and an unmatched voice from the underbelly of low-budget cinema. Later on, there's a quote from Diabolik, which is a gay sadist who pioneered New York's avant-garde theater world and made astonishingly unique exploitation movies. And there's a Time magazine quote that says he is Depraved, Degenerate, Desperate, and Damned.
Okay, so the movies are bad, but that's okay. Uh, it's it's a bunch of them though. It's a bunch of bad movies.
It's $140. It's 9 discs and a CD. Sorry, 8
Well,
Blu-rays and a CD, basically.
140 is a little bit steep for something that may not be that good. But I mean, you could say you had them, right? I mean, it's just
It also,
I
the
mean,
version they did have until it's sold out now, but they had one that came with a 120-page massive fucking coffee table book. This one
but
comes
now
with another book with it anyway.
what
But
was that other big what was that other big set they put out?
oh, that was Al Adamson.
Now that wasn't that bad. I don't have the set, but the movies of his that I did see, they
I
wasn't too
mean,
bad.
Dracula versus Frankenstein is objectively a terrible movie, but there's
Mhm.
something like mystifying about the fucker.
What was that
Like
they released on the kids line solo that had the monkey?
Carnival Magic.
Yeah, that was at least watchable. You
I
know.
think that's why they released it solo.
Hmm.
No, that's the thing. Al Adamson is one that has a reputation, but I think is also kind of thought of in a different light, and that's
Yeah,
why kind of like Milligan is different. I mean, I know, like I say, his biggest thing is it's got the Ghastly ones on it, and that's one of the original video nasties.
I don't know
Um,
why they don't just take all those Jess Franco movies they got the rights to and put them in one big box set. Get it out of the way.
well, I mean, at the moment, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked depending on what they're planning to do. The podcast recently suggested that this year they're going to release an unusual amount of Joe D'Amato movies.
I can deal with Joe.
Like they said they're doing a lot of Bruno Mattei, but also they said they're doing even more Joe D'Amato.
That's the Anthropophagus guy, right?
Yep,
Okay,
Anthropophagus, Absurd. Yeah.
I can deal with his stuff. Jess Franco ain't really my thing.
Listen, Jess Franco movie, nunsploitation, called The Demons or The Demon. Anything?
I don't think I've seen
Not
it.
that I've heard of. I think I've heard of the movie, but I haven't. No.
I want it.
You never
See,
know. I mean, it's if we're talking. I think they seem to be implying they are doing something Franco this year at some point. So
the
you never
only
know.
off the top of my head, the only Jess Franco movie that I can think of that I actually liked enough to like hold on
Bloody
to was like
Moon.
Bloody Moon. Exactly, you've heard this before. The one with his wife walked around naked in it most of the time was all right too.
Which
Female
one?
vampire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I figured. How did I know? I was like, yeah.
I mean, Hot Nights of Linda, where
Right.
she takes that banana and shoves it up her.
I'm a
Name your
Fulci.
Jess Franco movie. And
I'm a Fulci fan. That's give me Fulci type stuff.
I know. I think I mentioned this last time, but if not, just throwing it out there real quick. They also announced for their April stuff, Santa Sangre 4K Ultra HD, Grizzly, Day of the Animals. Seriously, you need to buy Day of the Animals and
You said
New
that last
Blood.
time.
It's if you listen to the podcast when they talk about it, they're kind of like everybody knows Grizzly because Grizzly is the slasher movie, except the slasher's a giant fucking bear, and it's
Yeah.
got Christopher George in it. He doesn't know what he's doing, but somehow that works. Like there's actually like behind the scenes footage of him basically being like, "Yeah, I don't fucking know what I want to do, what I'm doing here, but hey, if you know what you're doing, William Gerd, let me just do what you're gonna say, and basically we'll see how it goes." But Day of the Animals, it's just fucking weird, basically.
Well,
The gist of it is that the ozone layer is degrading, and that
Hmm.
makes all the animals go batshit insane and start attacking people, basically. But they're not the actual villains, I'd argue. Leslie Nielsen is, and he's a fucking bastard in that movie.
I know that like Severin is at least partially switching distribution people because
Yes.
I know CAV didn't want to do 4K apparently, so see it's now MVD that is making the 4K releases at least of Severin stuff.
So Severin said on the podcast that they keep having to push certain things back because MVD has rules about how they announce dates. That's one of also the reasons why I believe Vinegar Syndrome has started stating they will always release now their information on the first of the month.
Are they with it? Is Vinegar Syndrome now with MVD also?
I don't know that for sure, but I know they did say that because of rules about distribution, they have to.
If this keeps up, everything I get in the mail is going to be from MVD
Hey.
because they do everything. You know, they from Wild Eye to Unearthed to Arrow, they do all that. Blue Underground now. You know.
Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome and Blue Underground announced, they already had announced they were getting ready to do Dead and Buried 4K Ultra HD, but they did slightly more specifically say it'll be out in summer. I mean, it's a great movie. Tremendously underrated.
I've got the Blu-ray of it, and I enjoyed it, but it's been a long time since I watched. Who's the director of that?
Great Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah, that's why it always stood out to me. That's the writer of Return of the Living Dead.
Yep,
So.
and believe he had a hand on some level in Alien.
Yeah. He does good stuff, or he did, obviously. But I'm with Beard on this because that movie always looked a little bit. Was it Beard? Which one of y'all said it looked soft?
Somebody said it. It does often look a little, in our group chat. So it's not the best looking. Like it's not a reference quality ever, but it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Well, I'll tell you this much though. I don't know how they do it. I've not seen a bad looking 4K from Blue Underground yet.
Bill Lustig.
Yeah, Vigilante looked great. If you guys have seen it.
Vinegar Syndrome.
I've never seen Vigilante.
It's Death Wish. With a little bit more vigilanteism in it. Yeah.
Honesty.
I've also never seen The Final Countdown, which is their next 4K.
I've seen it in stores. I've never bought it. Yeah.
It's their everything. It's their first DVD they always release. Their first Blu-ray they always release. It's one of their first 4Ks they always release.
But there's so much that they've got that they could be doing this with, unless they lost the rights. Because you remember they lost a lot of rights to a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell was it we were just talking about like a few months ago about Bill Lustig needs to Shock. He needs to fucking release Shock on goddamn Blu-ray.
And the thing is, it doesn't have the rights to it. Somebody needs to, basically.
Well, A Blade in the Dark. Who's got that?
Oh crap! I know somebody announced they were getting ready to do that recently, but it's not like a big name in America anyway. I think it might have been 88 Films or something.
And then what's that other? The Black Belly of the Tarantula. Who's got that?
I wouldn't be shocked if Arrow had that, but I don't think they have it yet.
Somebody should. That was what was that? Was
right?
It's been out forever. I mean, it was one of the old DVDs of Blue Underground. And,
was it Blue Underground?
Was
it Blue Underground?
Yes, it was. Black Belly of the Tarantula was Blue Underground. And Lion. It was one of those, probably they had Lionsgate and then the Blue Underground got the rights to it and did.
Because I remember, like, at one time I had that and I had a case of the Scorpion.
I'm sorry, it's Paulo Cavara. My mistake.
I don't know what that is.
Director. The director of Black Belly of the Tarantula. Hell, give Shock to Vinegar Syndrome. They've already got Beyond the Door 2. Beyond the Door 3. I'm not against them giving anything to Vinegar Syndrome because I think they do great jobs on some very bad movies.
For sure.
In some cases, but no, it's like there's some stuff like that when you look around. It's like Shock and Black Belly of Tarantula and all those things. It's like, why is this still not on Blu-ray? You know.
Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome, like I said, they have new rules. So they announced their new stuff on February 1st. That was 3 days ago as we record this. But what they've been doing before that was putting out teaser pictures as part of their website. So basically the whole freaking listing was already known. It's Hitcher in the Dark, Umberto Lenzi. The Fear, which is a weird-looking 90s movie.
I haven't seen Fear in a long time.
I saw it when I was a kid, and I always got it confused with the Marky Mark movie. We talked about this last week.
Yes, The Fear and Fear, in which Marky Mark beats himself over the chest to make himself look like he got hit by someone's father.
So did Maureen Ponderosa. You guys don't know who that is, but Dance Commander does.
But now Hitcher in the Dark.
I know what the reference is. Thank you.
Does this mean I can get rid of my old Media Blasters DVD of it now?
If that's the same movie, yes.
Hitcher in the Dark should be Hitcher in the Dark.
I thought the same thing, and it made me think like, oh well, maybe there are some other stuff they might get hold of. But yeah, the special features wise for Hitcher in the Dark, 4K scan from the negative, commentary track, archival interview with Lenzi, theatrical trailer. Decent slipcover compared to The Fear, which looks like crap. Fear slipcover wise. Utopia release of something called Minor Premise, and Forgotten Jolly Volume 3 coming way sooner than most people probably thought before they announced it was coming. includes Armando Crispino's Autopsy. He also had made a movie called The Dead Are Alive that Code Red loves to release.
Wasn't Autopsy a Blue Underground title at one time?
It might
Am
have
I-
been. I
Or
feel
am
like
I
it might have
thinking
been.
of another Autopsy?
It might have been. I know what you're thinking of. It might have been. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Murder Mansion, which is also known as The Mansion in the Fog. It's Francisco Lara Polop. And Crazy Desires of a Murderer, which is Filippo Walterati, also known as The Morbid Vices of a Housekeeper. And that is the third volume.
I don't have any of the other volumes, but now I understand they're being
And now
released
you'll
on
never have
standard.
the first one. Unless
They're
you
on
get
standard.
if you get the
version.
standard, basically. That's the only way.
Diabolic still has it. I
No,
think
the
it's like
standard version.
$37.
The standard version just has like it's just the movies, ain't it? I mean, like what are you missing out of the other one besides the fancy box?
A fancy box.
Yeah, which it's a nice box. I'll give them credit for that.
And I'm not saying that's not a bad thing. I want the boxed versions personally.
I
I
mean,
have the first one.
that's why I have the Amityville set because of that nice box, you know.
That's why I'm getting 2 and 3 eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It sounds like these. I wonder where is Grindhouse releasing at? You know, they used to do.
You know what they're doing? They're making shirts and face masks.
They used to do such great jobs on their Blu-rays and their DVDs. I'd like to see a 4K from them. I like to see Cannibal Holocaust on 4K. Imagine that.
So there was a moment, and now again, I'm being quite serious when I say shirts and masks, but I did notice on Instagram today they posted a picture from Pieces, and it said it's exactly what you think it is, coming soon. Now, considering what they've been doing, it's probably a shirt.
Yeah.
But if you want to hold out hope it's a 4K copy of Pieces, you be my guest.
Well, that would be an odd first choice because don't they usually always go for Cannibal Holocaust as their number one on everything?
Didn't they go for the first time around to the American Hippie in Israel for the first special edition Blu-ray?
I was wrong. This is the standard. Yeah.
Well, they had that, and then they had that Western movie that came out.
Big Gun Down.
Yeah, that was like their first 2 Blu-rays, I think.
Leaving Cleef.
I need to get that Big Gun Down.
It's a great movie.
I still need what's that last one they did on Blu-ray?
The Swimmer, Massacre Mafia style.
No, it was like the Tough Ones, maybe.
Oh yeah,
it was the Tough Ones.
Yes.
I still need the Tough Ones because that's the only Blu-ray they've got that I don't own. Is the Tough Ones, and I need the one in the slip and all that though. I don't want a standard version.
It's on Amazon for like $35.
Yeah, I'd say they still sell them pretty commonly. So
hey, if anybody's watching this, my birthday's coming up. Maybe you want to buy me something for my birthday.
That's important.
But yeah, your birthday's already gone, come and gone.
Yeah, well,
you missed it then, people. You missed it. But
so you're saying you owe him? You're a heel. Come on, damn it, heel.
Yeah, right.
Heel it up.
Mm-hmm. But hopefully, by the time this goes up, I say that package I owe you, Mr. Williams, might be in your hand.
Did you ship it out?
It's going out, but it ain't out yet.
As long as Ryan Grooms isn't shipping it, I'm okay.
You know how it works, Chuck. You know how it works, Stubby. He's going to send it out. It's going to sit in the post office in Grundy County for about 10 weeks, and then
actually, the stuff I ship out gets there pretty quick.
It actually does. I think it bypasses a couple of different stops.
We bypass, like from my area, you bypass a lot of those hectic areas for the most part, which is good because like I've got everything, and like unlike that one box from years past, this one ain't gonna just magically vanish somewhere. I know where this is, so we're good.
Like I finally got my Diabolic stuff, and it sat in Philly for 15 days before it finally left. And once it left there, I got it in 2 days.
Yeah, same with me.
No, I can understand.
Now, Jesse just shipped me something that I bought from him, and he shipped it from Jersey. And it sat at the post office for like 1.5 days, and it's on the road already. So it's already in transit. So Philadelphia is just fucked.
I mean, it was a battleground state, W.
What is going on in Philly? Why is the mail so bad right now with that stuff? Because
they made them remove a shit ton of sorters, and because a lot of postal service employees got knocked out with COVID.
Well, luckily, like when I get my stuff from MVD, it comes from Pottstown, PA, or usually it does. And well, there was a couple times I sent it from other places, but I've not had much of a hold up. When it goes into the system, it usually gets to me pretty quick. But I have heard, like, my main stuff's California. I've had stuff set in California for days and days before they finally get here. From people. So California and Philly seems to be the two places to avoid if you can.
Finally, Arrow, 4K Ultra HD, Donnie Darko.
Yes.
I wasn't a huge fan, but Battle Royale. I'm sorry, I know, shocker.
That Battle Royale's fucking expensive, man.
I bet.
$73.
It's all 3 movies, ain't it?
It's, I don't know, maybe. It's huge.
I'll tell you, because I think it's on their website. Fuck off, Shudder. I don't need your email right now.
Because you watch this. Watch this.
It's some kind of thing about, like, hey, you should watch this movie, period. Like, this is new, you should watch it. Pre-orders, Battle Royale. It's a 5-disc limited set and contains high-def presentation of Battle Royale, both versions, theatrical and special edition director's cut. High-def presentation of Battle Royale 2 Requiem theatrical cut and Battle Royale 2 Revenge extended cut. Plus original soundtrack CD for Battle Royale, 120-page monograph on Kinji Fukasaku, illustrated collector booklet, exclusive Battle Royale collector's trump card set, reversible poster, and then shit ton of special features.
Was there not a part 3? Am I wrong?
There was not a part 3.
Okay, well, I've got this, and I have this because I accidentally bought it because I thought this was the Blu-ray set. I bought it at McKay's because I didn't know they did a DVD set of this that looks like a book.
I actually legitimately didn't know they did either. I thought that would have been the Blu-ray set too.
Well, I don't know if there is a Blu-ray set that comes in one of these books.
I think it was limited.
Because every time I've ever seen the Blu-ray, it's just the Blu-ray, regular Blu-ray. And
when
then
they first released it, it was limited.
Yeah, well, I've got this, and I've got like the regular Blu-ray of part 1, which I had I don't have it now because I got rid of it long ago, but I had Battle Royale on some crappy DVD for years, and I don't know where it came from. I feel like it was either a bootleg or an import. I don't know, but I don't have it now. But I'm a big fan of Battle Royale, though.
Beyond that, Death Has Blue Eyes, Switchblade Sisters, which is a pretty damn good movie.
Is that the same movie that Jesse from Diabolic was selling for such a long time?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was.
It's one of the movies that was also released as part of that weird set that existed for a while of Quentin Tarantino's movies, favorite movies, basically, or Quentin Tarantino Presents. That's the DVD version of it I have. Also, Clapboard Jungle and an exclusive Steelbook version of Mistress of the Dark.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, I know, like, we pretty well know what's coming because they've the little cards gives away a lot of stuff.
And it can, yeah.
I'm thinking they're going to do a 4K of Inglourious Bastards.
A lot of people thought that, like, from the existing, like, someone had posted like a.
Because they said they were going to release it, but they've never released it.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm thinking. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like they're going to do that.
That's something that'll take forever for them to make a special edition for. So I mean.
Oh, I'd totally be down for that. So, that'd be a day one purchase.
Some of the last things that they've sent out though had like a Legends postcard in it, or Legend postcard.
Has been a postcard for a while for them.
If they do Inglourious Bastards on 4K, wouldn't it be great if they could do the whole bloody affair on 4K, Kill Bill?
You keep that dream alive, Chuck.
I mean, the cut exists. There's a cut out.
Of course it does, but apparently he has no desire to do anything with it.
I don't know. Somebody's going to step in and say, you know what? The studio has got the desire to do this with it.
Honest to God, what will probably happen is you won't see it until he dies. I'm just saying, and it's not meant meanly. I'm saying,
I don't want to think about that because that's my favorite director.
I'm just saying, like, he seems like he wants to kind of hold that dragon head close to his chest. So
I don't know why. I mean, it was intended as one big movie anyway,
right? Only other thing I got, and this is technically more of a W thing, maybe a little bit of a me thing. And now that Chuck has a I know you have an Xbox One because you bought some games from Family Video. Resident Evil Village. It's coming out in May. The internet apparently can't get enough of a 9-foot tall vampire woman.
Is she 9 feet tall? I know she's tall.
Yes. So legitimately, the internet went batshit to such a degree the director actually came out and made a statement that said that she is 9 foot 6 inches tall in heels with her hat.
Jesus
He
Christ.
had to actually release a statement.
Because people wanted to know how fucking tall she was.
Because people wouldn't leave it the fuck alone. That's all. I mean, just they were like, oh my god.
Not only do I have an Xbox One, but I bought the remastered Resident Evil 1 and 0 to go with it. And as a fan of Resident Evil, I'll give it a try, I'm sure. But
it looks like a Resident Evil game would. I will say I think that 7 will be a better game than 8 will be, although it is a continuation. Because you're still playing as Ethan.
Those games are so hard, man.
I wonder if he still has his severed hand.
Wouldn't it be great if he did? He has to still have the stitches. He has to still have the stitches on the hand. That's the news, though.
There we have
a lot of news. It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's basically the show, I think.
Thus concludes our episode.
That is it.
Number what? What number is this?
30. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a new number. I've never heard of that one.
38.
Honestly, I almost guessed that. Okay.
38, and I'm turning 38. I'll be 38 when this comes out. Ain't it odd? It's meant to be.
Not gonna say it.
What? What you gonna say?
Nothing.
So you're getting old, man.
Yeah, getting there.
Old.
This is die.
Comma, man, not old man.
Yeah. It's time flies, you know.
Seems that way.
If I'm gonna do 10 movies by the time I'm 40, I better make like 5 movies the next 2 years.
Call up Todd Sheets or call up Charles Band. Charles Band will help you get 10 movies put out in 2 years.
It would just have me re-edit all the old movies and slap my name on them.
No. What they'll do is they'll send you a little figure of Blade and have him run around a little bit. And they'll send you a little figure of Evil Bong, have him run around a little bit, and there you go.
There you go.
But you gotta cut strings out yourself.
Yeah, I have access to.
Yeah.
I have access to a green screen, so that should help too. And we just use the same motions, and also he's got an archive of motions that they use in every movie. So.
I know, right? Exactly. And then you just take stuff, get access to the thing, bam, 10 movies. Oh,
there
hey, you figured it all out.
Chuck Connery's Puppet Master. I can imagine it now.
Would it be honestly any worse than Blade: The Iron Cross?
It'd be like Puppet Master, the Southern Reich, right? That's what it would be.
No, actually.
What's the difference?
Holy crap! No. To be fair, I think he actually legitimately just had a fantastic idea. Make a Puppet Master movie, except instead of it being Nazi, be a Confederate thing.
It's Make America Great Again, people. There we go.
The Confederacy is attacking. We must make Union soldier puppets to save us all.
There it is. Hey, we Democrats are in the White House.
If this gets made, I want money, Charles Band.
All right, we ought to send him to say, hey, buddy, we got an idea. Send me $500 and a bunch of Confederate soldier costumes.
Dudes.
And as we're giving away ideas for Full Moon's next catalog, I think it's time to end the episode.
Yep, there it is.
Well, thanks for sticking with us and all the nonsense.
You stuck.
Did you say something?
I said if they've stuck with us this long.
Yes.
Sound like you just repeated stuck.
We didn't. To be fair, we didn't call the episode porno this time, so I don't know if they stuck around.
True.
They didn't stick around in porno. It was like 20 seconds was like the max. And
oh my god, these guys have beards.
Our intro is like 16 seconds, so they didn't stick around too long.
They're going to steal our movie idea, and that'll be the end of it.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that. And we'll be back with some Indonesian horror next week.